In the beginning, there was darkness. I didn't know you were in town. And then the Lord said, let there be light. And along came the Gas and Electric Company. Then he built the heaven and earth in one day. If he had to use union plumbers, it would take him a month. Then he gathered the dry lands together and he called it earth. And he gathered the waters together and he called it seas. And he looked down at the earth and the seas and he said, I think I'll build a shopping center here. And he did, man. He built the Garden of Eden, which was the first federal housing development. And then the Lord created Adam. And he looked at Adam and he said, oh, God. Well, God can't say, oh, God. God says, oh, myself. And the Lord put Adam to sleep. Boom. Opened up his side, took out his rib. And from that rib, Then the snake came. Hey, baby, want a credit card? You know, it says in the Bible, when the Lord created Adam, he created male and female. And then when he removed the rib, he removed the femininity of man. Of course, with some guys, he leaves a little piece. Blew it, man, the apple, and the Lord got mad, and he told Eve, he said, Eve, thou shalt experience great pain in childbirth. And Labor Day was born. You know about that, right? And the Lord told Adam and Eve, he said, Adam and Eve, leave the Garden of Eden, go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. Not right now, wait till you leave the garden. Then the begatting began. Then came Cain and Abel, and Cain slew Abel. And as he looked down upon the bloody form of his brother, he said, Mom always liked you best. And then we got wiped out. Everybody but Noah. Noah, 150 days in the ark, man. Then the windows flung open, and Noah lifted his head to God, and he said, oh, what a stink. You know, Noah had 3 kids, you know. He had Seth, Ham, and Japheth, and Ham became the head of Canaan, and you put Canaan and Ham together, you know what you get? Canadian bacon, you see. And the Lord came to Abraham when he was 100 years old, 100. He said, Abraham, thou shalt have a child. And Abraham said, so I'm 100 years old, all I want is a cup of hot tea. Came Moses, remember 40 days and 40 nights up on the hill, came down with the 10 Commandments and looked at the multitudes below, and he said, anybody here read Hebrew? Bible crowd, man. Hey, we gotta pass the hat around here. And then Moses led the Jews to the edge of the Red Sea, and there he stopped and lifted his head to God, and he said, are you sure you did this trick before? And then an east wind, zap, man, cut the Red Sea in half, and through they went to the promised land, Las Vegas. And what a show they had. They had the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, Mahalia Jackson, and Billy Graham worked the lounge. And St. Francis of Assisi was your pit boss. Baptist, great people, marvelous swimmers. That's the first thing they learn, man, because you got a long name and the Reverend stutters, they wipe you out when you're a kid. You know, being a Jew, I shouldn't really make fun of that. They did a weird thing to me when I was a kid. You want to talk about a diaphragm, man, that's a barbaric act when you think about it, you know. Religion or no religion, they do it to you when you're 8 days old.
Now, 8 days, you think it's a party, right? I mean, there you are, you're 8 days old. Havana, Gilla, whack! Hey, man! Wow. I think they should ask the kid, they should say, hey, kid, what do you want? Circumcision or twice around the pool? There'd be Baptists in the morning, I tell you that. And the Catholics, they got it going now, 2-pill or not 2-pill, that is the question. Catholics can eat meat now on Friday. But what happened to all those people that went down there for eating meat before? Can you imagine how bugged they must be? All I ate was a lousy hamburger. St. Christopher got demoted. Too many automobile accidents. Roman Catholic priests want to form a union. Chicago, Local 602, International Fathers of America. Fellow fathers, we're looking for time and a half for blessing, a piece of the action from a confessional box. Shorter way for breaks, Sundays off. Those of you that help me with the celibacy law, I want you to know things are finally clearing up, especially my complexion. A Harvard law student presented a hypothetical brief on a client that was apprehended for marijuana, and he based his defense upon the Bible. Genesis, chapter 1, verse 11, 12, 29. And God commanded the earth to bring forth grass. So he said it's not the pusher, it's not the user, it's the earth. It's the state of California versus the earth. Bring out the earth. Bada boom, bada boom. Your name, Earth. First name, Mother. Your occupation. Oh, I work for the solar system. How long you been employed by the solar system? Oh, God knows. Are you aware that on your surface is growing an illegal contraband known as cannabis indica? I thought it was psoriasis. China can take us over tomorrow through the restaurants. Think about it, man. They put opium in the wonton soup, see? Takes 6 months to addict the country. First 3 months, you see little symptoms like big wonton parties, you know? A lot of outgoing orders, see? And then China stopped shipping the wontons, man. Every American is a junkie shaking, looking for a hot wonton. A few Quakers pushing dumplings. A few Jews hustling krepla. A few Mexicans pushing tacos, man. Mexican food, man, that's tough food. God bless you, Mexicans. You're the only one that can eat that. They've overthrown governments with those beans. That's true, man. No, you can't eat Mexican food, then just go for a little walk around the block, you know. After you eat that stuff, you gotta get on your horse and ride. You try to eat that, go to bed, you kamikaze pilot, man. Because you're not adjusted to it, you know? You take a nice Midwestern Quaker, all his life, nothing but oatmeal. Saturday night, he throws a raisin in there. You give this guy a taco, you don't hear from him anymore. That's how the Jews won the war in Israel, you know? They catered it. Thank you. They sold the Arabs latkes. See, that's a Jewish food. It's like a fried hockey puck. 5 guys eat that, get in the tank. They don't want to fight, man. And who sold the guns to the Jews? The Germans. The Germans. If I was in the Israeli army, they gave me a German gun. I figured a bullet comes like this. But that's history, man. You can't. Suppose they found Hitler still living. Adolf Hitler still alive, man. He's in Argentina. He's working as a folk singer. It's got the top television show in town. It's a talk show, right? They come out, it's the Adolf Hitler show featuring Benito Mussolini doing Arrivederci Roma. And now, here's Nazi. And out comes Hitler, man, leather pants, print shirt, accordion, Havana Gila. Now they arrest him, man, they indict him in the World Court. And he hires Melvin Belli. Melvin Belli's defense speech for Adolf Hitler. First of all, I say let bygones be bygones. Man says he's sorry. Doing well in arts and crafts. And I'm married to a Baptist girl, you know. Baptists are great girls as long as they get their sleep. All 23 hours of it. But she says I gotta take the little girl to learn how to swim. 2 years old, man. Older than that, it's no good, right? 2 years old, swimming school. Bring the little kid. There's the lifeguard. He's in the kiddie section of the pool. You know, the part that's warmer than the rest. So now what? He takes your kid, your own child, right? He takes the little girl, holds her under the arms in the pool. And he says, Amy, under, bang! And he submerges your child. And he picks her up and she looks to me, the father, right? Threw up all over the pool. And the second time he said, Amy, under, bam! The third time he said under, she took a breath. She went under, went up to the high board, dove in. Walked around the pool 3 times, took a cab. I haven't seen her since. If you run into a girl who swims good but isn't potty trained, give me a call here. We only have one problem in our country today, and that's toilet training. I got a little 3-year-old girl my wife brought up according to that Dr. Spock tinkle method. You know how they do it? Take the little kid, tinkle, right? As soon as she tinkles, the neighbors come in. They dance around her. Firecrackers go off. You know, she don't know what happened, man, but she knows she's going again. That's fun. See? Now, what happens later when you grow up? You don't forget. Sigmund Freud, first 5 years in the brain, right? You go to the restroom, you come out, there's nobody there, you get depressed. You look at people when they come out, they got a sad look on their face. So do me a favor, please. Do yourself a favor. Do our country a favor when somebody comes to your house and uses your restroom. Go over by that door. And when they open it up, look them right in the eye and say, wonderful!
Funniest things in the world are the truth, the realities that we live with. I'd like to tell you a truthful story. This happened to me once when I was driving to Florida. It was my usual time to be working in Florida, July 20th. And I was going through a little town down south called Windsor, North Carolina. And it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, and there was a big, fat pig on the road. Well, I'm from New York, and in New York, you don't see too many pigs. Sometimes you see a lion come walking out of the subway, but... So, you know, I didn't want to hit the pig, you know. I mean, I'm Jewish, it don't count, but... So, you know, I swerve my car sharply to the right. I go off the road and I get stuck in a ditch. 2 minutes goes by, police car. Red light going, fishing pole in the back. And out gets the weirdest looking cop you've ever seen in your whole life. I don't know if you're familiar with the police in Windsor, North Carolina, but they get him from Devil's Island. They give him a badge, a gun, a club, 5 hate pills. It was wild. He gets out of his car, you know, and he looks down at my New York plates. Now he hates me from an old war, see? I he's getting in the mood. Then he hits you with those two words. You're from New York City. You hear these two words, forget it. You're going to get it. Looks down and he says, Yankee fella? Hot damn, sonny boy, what you doing parked here? I said, no, stuck. He said, now don't go give me none of that freedom rider talk. He says, your motor's shut off? That's parking. Gonna cost you $100 illegal parking. I said, no, you can't do that. Oh, mighty badge wearer. Oh, champion of truth. Oh, pimply-faced one. I'm stuck. Ain't gonna do you no good. Gonna cost you $100. I said, well, I can't argue with you because you have the gun. And you're the type of guy that would shoot a litter bug. But you know, sometimes the moment brings the greatness out in me. And I said, I'm fed up. I'm not gonna let you get away with it. I want to go to the courthouse and speak to the judge. So he takes me to the courthouse, a grocery store. I walk in, there's a guy with an apron, judge. Guy says, come on in the back, sonny, hold the trial. We go in the back, he takes off the apron, puts on the normal judge's outfit for Windsor, North Carolina, a hood. Another guy lights up the cross. And we get ready to swing a little bit, see? Looks down at me and says, I'm there, sonny boy, you ever been up before me? I said, I don't know, what time do you get up? So I paid the $100. But there's a moral, and that is if you're ever in Windsor, North Carolina, and you see a pig on the road, hit him!
Big swindlers, insecticides, bug sprays. You know there's nothing in these cans but cold air? You spray the bug, he catches cold, dies of pneumonia. Go home, spray a bug. After you spray him, give him a cup of hot tea. Next day, you got a healthy bug and a happy bug, man. A bug that'll go to other bugs and say, he's a nice guy, don't bug him. We don't do that, man. We got destruction in our bones. Rachel Carson wrote that book, Silent Spring. Read it. We're going to wipe ourselves out with sprays. You spray a bunch of bugs, right? Now, you don't get them all. One gets away with a bad wing. Right? But you haven't affected his reproductive factor. Because that's under the other wing. That's why they walk around like that, man. They watch that factor. He knows about bugs. So now what do we have? We got a bug with a bad wing and a good factor. Now he finds a female bug who doesn't care about his bad wing, you know? Tells him it's a war wound, everything's cool. Then they factorize and out comes a mutant bug. 40 legs with a red ball on his head. He can't find a bug, man. He ends up with a turtle. Turtles can't move that fast. They end up with anybody. There's another cross mutation, and out comes a bigger and weirder bug. And one day, if we don't stop spraying, you'll get a knock at the door. There'll be a 12-foot cockroach. Say, hey, man, you got any spray? George Washington, right? First president, comes home at the end of the Revolutionary War. Martha, baby, home from the war. They just offered me a great deal, Martha. They want to make me the first president. Oh, George. Getting the first. First guy to stand up in a rowboat. First guy to throw money away during the war. George, you're a patsy, don't you see that? Every time they get a tough job, give it to the hippie in a wig and the buckles. He'll do anything. First, Star-Spangled Banner, the first song of our land, written by Francis Scott Key, arranged by Jose Feliciano. And he wrote this song, Fort McHenry Harbor, while it was being bombed. He's writing a song, right? Bombs. There he is on the deck. Oh, say. Could you keep the war down? I'm trying to write a song. Pioneer spirit, that's America. Put a flag on the moon. Now we're going to Mars, because it's easy. You go to the flag, you make a left. It's a big initiative for power in our country, man. Power's an opiate, more pressure. A king loses his job, comes to America, goes to the unemployment office. Guy said, what do you do for a living? He said, I was a king. So, well, we don't get too many calls for that. So what'd you do before that? I said, I was a prince. I saved young maidens in distress. He says, oh, you're an abortionist. A lot of work for you. It's a weird world we're living in. Here, right now, one mistake, we could very well be on the verge of a civil war. But I'll tell you, as wars go, a civil war is probably the best kind of war. You know, because then you can come home for the weekend, take a cab to the front. War's ridiculous. You want to get rid of war, all you do, you pass a law. Any two countries wish to engage in a war, fine, go right ahead. But they have to fight it naked. You think about a naked war. Countries wouldn't rush into it. It could be a very chilling experience. It'd be too confusing. You couldn't tell the difference between the officers and the non-commissioned officers. And go try and pin a medal on anybody. You can't have a naked war because you have to fight in hot weather and where you're going to hang the canteen. And a lot of guys are very shy. They don't show up for the Victory Day parade. So therefore, the answer to war is nudism. Right? Right. Take off your clothes. Well, sometimes it works. There's a very famous American nudist, a man by the name of Seymour Cook. And Seymour said, don't be rude, don't be crude, watch your food and stay nude. One of the fastest growing recreational endeavors in America today, you know what it is? Skydiving. People are jumping out of planes for a hobby. Picture this, skydiving club meeting for the first time, and the instructor comes out to speak to them. Fellow jumpers, aerialists, I want you to know we're not looking for any daredevils or thrill seekers. All we want are nice, quiet people who like to jump out of airplanes. Jumping can be a lot of fun, providing you land right. But whether you land right or whether you land wrong, one thing you can be sure of, you will land. Now, I myself have been jumping for 15 years, and let me tell you, when you're up there in the blue, you will see things you've never seen before. Like guys zooming by with defective chutes. Other guys screaming about a stuck ripcord. Pay them no mind, sore losers, bad apples in a barrel. And we'll weed them out. Now, after your first 6 jumps, you then become eligible for what's known as competitive jumping. Now, in competitive jumping, we have 3 events. The first event, the eagle soar, which means upon descending from the airplane, you assume the position of an eagle. Only never do this when there's an eagle around. Listen to this line, because it has a tendency to make the eagle soar. Second event, baton passing. Mid-air, you pass the baton from your right hand to the left hand of the opposing jumper. Most important thing, the baton passing form. So remember, no trembling. And last
that's the free fall. This is the champ event, which means you wait till the last possible moment before you release the ripcord. The record is held by Seymour Cook. Went for a count of 197, thereby breaking his own record. Also his back and his head. Portable air conditioner. Why be hot? Go out, get it now. Boom, out, went out, bought what they advertised as a portable air conditioner. Portable. For an elephant, it's portable. This thing weighed about 400 pounds, but it had a handle on it. Now, I take it home, right, install it, weather strip the windows, lock the door, I press the button, and while I'm waiting for it to cool, I pass out from the heat. It's defective, blowing hot air, you know. Now I'm bugged, I schlepped the whole thing back to the appliance store. Did you ever notice the attitude they have in an appliance store when you come in bringing back one of their appliances? They pretend like you're not there. Like everybody walks in carrying a 400-pound air conditioner. So finally a guy comes up to me with a condescending smile and says, "Yes, sir, may I help you?" I said, "Yeah, how would you like a rap in the mouth?" He said, "No, don't get excited. What's the trouble?" I said, "Well, this air conditioner, it's defective." He said, "Really? Where's the box?" I said, "No, the box is fine. It's the air conditioner that don't work." So he saw right away I was bugged. He says, "Okay, don't worry, sir. We'll send one over and install it." Boom, they did. Sent it over. Installed it. Now it's working real great. It's nice and cool. 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up with swollen glands from the cold air. Now the truth, swollen glands, zap, the whole neck. Can't breathe, 2 o'clock in the morning, New York City. There's only one place to go, the city hospital. I don't know if you're familiar with the city hospitals in New York, but there they have a deal with the doctors. The pay is cheap, but they can make mistakes. 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't breathe. I'm in the hospital filling out a form. Finally, I say, "Excuse me, dear, I can't breathe." She says, "Really? Is it serious?" So, well, I don't know how long you can live without breathing. He says, "Don't get snotty." No, dear, I don't mean to be impolite. I just can't breathe. May I see a doctor? An intern? A volunteer nurse? Finally, she sends over the intern. You ready? He's 11 years old. Now up comes the intern, looks at my swollen glands, and with his right finger, whack on the right side, whack on the left side. Steps back and says, "You have swollen glands." So thanks a lot. If I didn't have them, I'd have them now anyhow. So what do you suggest that I do with them? Did you get to that page yet? So that shook him, and he sent for the specialist. Now, you can always tell a specialist because he has a flashlight on top of his head. He said, "Well, there's nothing to worry about, son, you know. Let's just find out a little history about this." He says, "Do you have an air conditioner?" I said, "Yes." So did you save the box?
Gourmets, man, they eat stuff like tarantula hair, eel's ears. Do you know what the most expensive delicacy in America is? Swan sweat. Sweat of the swan, man, $100 an ounce. Swans don't sweat that easily. Very tough to sweat a swan. You know how they sweat the swan? They get 2 guys, right, professional swan sweaters. Little boat, late at night, they go up alongside the swan, they go, "Psst, you can't swim." I bought my first house in Los Angeles, me and my wife and the kid that hangs around with us. One day, I find out I have bad pipes. Do you know how you find out that? There's a process known as backing up. I don't know if you have ever been backed up on before in your life. but it's frightening. It's like where the whole world comes up at you through every hole in your house, you know? I mean, there's only 3 people home. We didn't put that much into the ground. I was getting it from Gold Rush days, you know? And there's nothing that makes man more humble in his life than toilet trouble, because your wife is yelling, "Stop it! What am I gonna do? Stop it! Stop it! My wife says stop it!" Boy, what can you do? You gotta go to the Bible. Dear Lord, you stop it!
I can't. I don't belong to the union.
Then you gotta call the plumbers, and they get $15 an hour, man. They always bring a friend, you know? One guy stayed in the truck. I never even saw him. He got $15 an hour.
Philosophy. I have a philosophy: if at first you don't succeed, fail. See, people have the wrong attitude toward failure. They don't want to fail. But suppose you look forward to failing. It's much easier. Opportunity knocks but once, but failure is always pounding away.
Now we've come to the most difficult part of a comic's act. The endings. It's difficult for a comic to finish strong. A singer could sing rock-a-bye and the drums go and they go off, but a comic, he's there like a latke. Nothing really exciting happens. I figured out what would the proper ending for a comic be, and this is it. The comedian, which is me this evening. I should have told you that earlier. The comedian, which is me, I tell a joke. At the end of the joke, the audience, which is you laugh. Got it? On your cue, Don Trenner takes 2 beats, plays the chaser, you applaud, I go off, and it's a beautiful sight. Want to give it a shot? I know you never worked as a group before. Okay, here's the joke. There was this Jewish guy who wanted to be a spy for the FBI. So he goes to the FBI and says, "Mr. FBI, I'm a Jewish guy, I want to be a spy for the FBI." He says, "Okay, Jewish guy wants to be a spy for the FBI. You have to go to the Bronx. You have to find an 8-story apartment house, find a guy named Epstein, tell him the sky is blue and the moon is red, and he'll give you your orders." Goes up to the Bronx, man, he's searching all over, finally finds the 8-story building. But there's 2 Epsteins. So he panics. Knocks on the first door, the guy opens it up, he says, "The sky is blue and the moon is red." He says, "Oh, you want the spy? He's upstairs."